Do you have kids born during the pandemic? Or do you have a toddler? Then I think you need to keep on watching this video.
Hey, joy girl, no man, it's got that joy girl quality.
Hi jovial faces, welcome back again to my channel. My name is Joy Girl and I'm a Nigerian YouTuber based in the United Arab Emirates. If you're clicking in my video for the first time, thank you so much for stopping by. Please consider subscribing after watching this video if you enjoy the content. And if you're a returning subscriber, hi guys, I see you, okay? Thanks for the love. Thank you for always coming back to watch. I love you guys, okay? So today we're going to be talking about the post-effect of the COVID pandemic on kids. And I'm going to be using my son Ryan as a case study. It's been 2 years since the whole world went on a standstill, all because of a virus called COVID-19. A lot of us have lost loved ones. Even the economy is not spared. We have loved ones also who have lost jobs and lots of people who are internally displaced. But today we're going to be talking about the effect of the pandemic on our children. So, my son Ryan was born a few months before the COVID became a global pandemic. He was born in September 2019. And sometimes around 31st of March to 1st of April, the United Arab Emirates went on its first nationwide lockdown. Bear in mind that Ryan was about 7 months old at this time. Lockdown started, and as we all know, everyone was isolated away from the world. No visitors could come to the house. It was only you and your family. And so this brings me to my first point, that one of the effects of the COVID pandemic on kids is that it leads to poor social skill. Now guys, we all know that one of the key factors to a child development is play. A child needs to be able to interact with the indoor and outdoor environment to be able to develop this skill. Sadly, toddlers, infants, and even teenagers were not able to play outside and develop this skill during the COVID pandemic. They had very limited interaction with people of the outside, and they were limited to interacting with only people of their family. For my son, his primary social contact was just I and his dad, and maybe JJ of Cocomelon and Blippi and Miss Rachel. You get the point, okay? It was just either me and his father or the TV. And even after the lockdown was eased off and we could go outdoors to the park, to the mall, kids could still not interact with each other because of the fear of contracting the virus. So you find a situation where you go to the park and you're trying to shield your child from associating with other child, or maybe other families are trying to shield their own child from associating with your child because of the fear of contracting the virus. This will definitely lead to a poor development of a child's social skill. And also, I believe that at this period, children actually had the wrong idea that associating with people will cause something negative. The young ones might really not have understood why they cannot make new friends, but I believe that this would leave a negative impression in their mind. I could see the effect on Ryan even after the COVID pandemic. It took him a while before he could adjust to making new friends. He was almost turning into an introvert. The period when I had to take him to the daycare, that was after the lockdown, I had complaints of children either biting Ryan or Ryan biting the children. So I believe that it was because they had not been able to develop that social skill. And so now when you suddenly open them up to making new friends or interacting with the children of their pair, they found it quite hard. This is one of the ways I believe that the COVID pandemic affected my son. And this leads me to my second point. Children were exposed to an excess amount of screen time. Although as parents, we tried our possible best to help Ryan play, not only from the TV, but also get him toys, play with him. But you can agree with me that being in the house for 24 hours, a growing child can get easily bored. So what is the next alternative to entertaining the kids? the TV. And aside from Ryan, let's talk about when the children had to move from physical learning to online learning. You can attest with me that they had to do lots of screen time learning from online. And then after learning from online, they will definitely have to watch some TV. So it's an increased exposure to TV. And a research from the New York Presbyterian says that excessive screen time may inhibit a child's ability to observe and experience the typical everyday activities they need to engage with in order to learn about the world, which could be detrimental to their overall development. So you would agree with me that excess screen time actually does have an effect on a growing child. And this leads to my last point, that the effect of the COVID pandemic on kids is that it caused them to have poor or a lack of communication skill. For my son Ryan, I believe that it caused him to have speech delay. Now, because I work in a school environment and I've been able to observe children before the pandemic and after the pandemic, and one thing that is striking for me is that children before the pandemic developed communication skill faster than children born after the pandemic. And even comparing academic performance, I have come to realize that before the pandemic, children actually did a whole lot better than children coming after the pandemic. You have a lot of kids struggling to catch up with their classes, and I believe that this is because of the COVID pandemic. Okay guys, so we've been able to talk about the 3 effects of the COVID pandemic on kids. One is development of poor social skill. The second is an excess exposure to screen time. And the third is a lack of communication skill or a development of poor communication skill. Now, here are the tips in which I've used to help Ryan to overcome these challenges. For the first one, I'm helping him to develop his social skill more, in that when we go outside, I encourage Ryan to be the first to introduce himself, to say hello, to say hi, and I can see that this has really helped him to build that social skill, build his confidence in making new friends, and it has really helped in a long way. For the exposure to screen time, I create a schedule for him that would engage him so much that he would not have too much time for screen time. And this will include going outdoors, because if he stays indoors too much, he will get bored with the non-screen time activity, and it will lead us to go back to watching TV. And lastly, for a communication skill, I feel that this is a ripple effect from social skill to the other one. I believe that helping him to speak more, communicating more with him, he gets to interact with other peers of his age, and I can see the effect of this on his speech. Ryan is now able to make phrases that make sense. He's able to communicate and tell me what he wants, even if it's in a single word or it's in a phrase. Ryan is able to express himself, and when he makes the wrong sentence, we help him by demoing the right way to use the sentence and just speak to him more. And I believe that this has really helped his communication skills to improve. This is an extra tip for parents who believe that their children's academic performance have actually declined due to the online learning and the COVID pandemic. You can go ahead and get your child a learning support in class, or you can also consider trying to homeschool your child after school hours, just to bridge this gap of low academic learning. And trust me, getting your child a learning support will go a long way. It doesn't mean that there is anything wrong with your child. It just means that there is a gap that needs to be filled, and the learning support will actually help your child to bridge this gap. You can maybe have a plan, a 6-month plan, a 1-year plan for your child, and trust me, this will go a long way. And also you might want to consider getting your child a private tutor that will help to bridge this learning gap that was caused because of the pandemic. Okay guys, and now we've come to the end of this video. I hope that this video was informative for you. I hope that you've been able to learn something from it. If you feel that your child has been affected in one of the the ways that I discussed, please share in the comment section. And if you also feel that there are some points that I did not mention, please mention it down below. I'll be glad for us to discuss about it. Hopefully by next week we'll be having our first live, and I would like for us to discuss this topic more elaborately on my live. So I will be sharing the link to my first live, and I hope you guys will be there to support. Thank you so much guys for watching. I really appreciate, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.